Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Lead Nudge at the start of this week. Today, I want to have a conversation with you all about the topic of gratitude. And you might be wondering, what does gratitude has to do with leadership? Well, let me tell you a quick story. I got to understand the power of gratitude a couple of years ago when I first started, first of all, volunteering, but also leading a group of volunteers. And the reality is that with volunteering, all the set of, let's say, tools that we usually have as team leaders, as managers, like salary increase, promotions, career ladder, or team building activities, well, everything that relies on budget, you usually do not have access to when you are managing a group of volunteers. And what that means is that that forced me to understand a different set of motivational or ways to motivate and keep the team engaged. And gratitude was one of those things. When we talk about gratitude, a lot of times we yeah, it's just a simple thank you, right? It's just the word thank you, and make sure that whenever we receive whatever is expected out of the role, we just appreciate it with one simple thank you. But the thank you actually has another layer that goes underneath, and it has a little bit of neuroscience behind why gratitude is important. I've been starting to get and to learn more about neuroscience and why this matters for leadership. And here is what's important and what's interesting in here. When we use these words that we associate to gratitude, like thank you, I appreciate you doing this and in such a fast pace, I appreciate the effort into making this happen, so on and so forth. Actually, there is a light that turns up in our brains, rewired circuits, and it releases dopamines, both on the receiver side, so both on our employee side, but also on our side, which is what was really, yeah, what I found mind blowing. That it was not only about our team and just passing that motivation, but also feeling that let's say rush of dopamine by just making sure that we wire that behavior of gratitude. And that means that both your team member and yourself, you feel good. The trust goes up, right? Because that means that our team members not only get to, by acknowledging the work that they do, either the effort that they do or the quality of the work that they do, they feel seen, and that automatically improves the level of performance and the level of effort that they provide because they feel seen and they feel recognized. And let's not forget that recognition is as important as any of these tools that require budget that a lot of times we might not have, or we might not know that there's an opportunity for promotion for this team member. But if we're able to provide that recognition, that goes a long way. So, as team leaders, what can we do this week? Well, first of all, I would like for everybody to start with a self-scan, right? That takes literally 10 seconds before just joining a meeting and making sure that we are able to do a scan within our team and know, okay, who moved the needle yesterday and how can I recognize that? And it doesn't need to be every time to do it in a public approach. Everybody's different. Everybody will have a way to recognize that, but just to make sure that you're being aware. The second one is potentially to start with a thank you first agenda. So maybe once a week, whenever you have these team stand-ups or whenever you have your one-on-one, just make sure that you recognize the small wins and not necessarily wait until that big milestone. Because if you have ever worked in a corporate, that also means waiting for projects to finish in 6, 8 a year months time or a year time, and that is a long time to give, to provide to wait to provide that recognition. So do not wait until that last deliverable. Just make sure that you recognize and appreciate and share that gratitude with the smallest wins. Um, yeah, and with that, yeah, let's just start using some of those tools, even if that means keeping those notes, sharing those thank you appreciation notes in maybe public settings, like sharing a recognition on LinkedIn for your team members. And none of that requires an effort from a budget perspective. That is something that you have in your control, and that will keep your team motivated and will impact the performance and the overall enjoyment and satisfaction in the team. So let's get going. For this week, remember to lead as you are with courage, inclusion, and heart.